Well, hello, you beautiful people. It's your boy, Oric Blackwood here. Welcome back to our little YouTube community where Maura Rose just took over my voice for you. Oh, I am going to share a trick for you today that literally changed and probably saved my life, okay? How many of you out there have anxiety? You know, if you do, let me hear you in the comments. Like, she's a bitch. I call her Anxious Annie. And she's got a twin sister. They're like the Cinderella stepsisters. Depressive Deborah. Love those. But here's the thing. One thing I stopped doing was identifying with my anxiety. And I'm gonna give you a trick to help you when this alarm system starts going off, how to not reach for the medicine bottle. Hello, I was a nurse, or still am. So medication has its place, but that's a Band-Aid over a bullet hole. And I'm going to teach you a technique that I've learned that kind of helps, like, change your mind a little bit with anxiety. So let's dive in. I stopped identifying with anxiety. I am not anxious. I am not depressed, because what we say we are, we are. And I'm not that. I am not anxious. I am not depressed. I am a healthy individual. I am calm. I am safe. So number one, you got to start with your thoughts. And the other thing that I learned, and this was so cool, and it was in therapy. I'm not a therapist, and it's not medical advice. There's that disclaimer. But something I learned that really helped me was the fact that anxiety, all it is an alarm, okay? It's an alarm for our nervous system. And when alarm goes off, what's an alarm's purpose? It's to alert us of something, like, hey, something's a little off. So that helped me really change my mindset with it. So I don't say I have anxiety, because I don't. I have an alarm, and it's a natural part of our nervous system that is designed to help us stay safe, okay? When our nervous system is kind of out of whack or in a state of anxiousness or having all these things, what is the first thing that we typically do? We tend to go right to our head. We think, oh, I'm anxious about all these things, and we get trapped up here in this cage. The last thing that we need to do when we're having an anxiety attack or a panic attack or feeling anxious is get up in here. That's gonna make it 20 times worse. Realizing, one, it's an alarm. So when you start feeling the symptoms of anxiety, instead of being like, I am anxious, okay, my heart. Get out of the mind, get into the body. That is the key. I'm like, how am I feeling? Okay, well, my heart is racing just a little bit. I feel a little tightness in my chest. My hands are tingling a little bit. And then I sit with it. I recognize it's an alarm. It's my body trying to tell me something. And then my job is to teach it that it's safe. And how do I do that? Not by ignoring it or getting up in my head. It is by stopping and acknowledging this alarm. And this is kind of how it goes. So let's say I'm starting to feel that stuff, and soon be like, oh my God, I'm having an anxiety attack. That was old school. Now I'm like, oh, all right, there you are, all right? Okay, there's my alarm going off. I stop, and I'm like, okay, what am I feeling? I get into my body. I'm like, okay, my hands are tingling. I'm getting a little sweaty on the back of my head. I'm a little short of breath. My heart rate's a little elevated, and all that stuff. And I'm like, okay. So just acknowledging the alarm. Now, the trick is to teach your body that you are safe. Because if I had those signs and symptoms right now, I'm in a studio, I am clearly safe, but your body and your subconscious, that alarm, doesn't know that sometimes. And that's from past traumas, like whatever's going on. So if you can train yourself to go into your body, stop, feel those sensations, then we can turn it around. And here's how you turn it around. So I try to find a neutral place in my body. Like, where am I not feeling really anything? Okay, like right now, I don't feel anything in my chin. So I go and I focus. I'm like, okay, my chin, I even touch it. And I'm like, touch up here. I'm like, okay, I don't feel anything good. I am safe. And I do I am statements. I am safe. I am calm. I look around my environment. And I'm like, okay, I can see the walls. What can I feel? What can I smell? What can I hear? And I orient myself to the now while holding my safe space. Then I allow myself, like after like maybe 10, 15 seconds, then I go back to a space that I'm feeling these symptoms. Like maybe it's that tightness in my chest. So I go back and I acknowledge and I sit with that tightness in my chest, and I'm like, okay, And then I hold my chest and I'm like, I am safe. There's no danger. I look around and I do all my senses. Get them here now. Stay there for a little bit. Then I'll go back to a neutral spot in my body and do the same thing. Then I'll go back to that tightness in my chest. And what you notice is that tightness in the chest starts to go away. Because we got in the body, we've listened to the alarm, we didn't let it go to our heads, we got inside of here, and now we're training that stuff that's coming up, we're training it to be like, nope, we're safe. It's okay, I acknowledge you. By relating it over to a calm part of the body. Maybe that's your knees, maybe that's your right thumb, whatever it is. You're being like, okay, there's my calm place. I'm safe. Now let's go back to this place and show it, hey, just like my thumb or my chin over here, we're calm, we're chill. And all of a sudden your heart's over here like, oh, okay. Oh, all right, I can slow down. Cool, there's nothing wrong. And all of a sudden, the heart rate lowers. The chest tightness goes away. The tingling goes away. Now, that's helped me 98% of the time. 2% of the time, sometimes it doesn't work, and that's okay. And that's where you can take, medication if it's prescribed, or do something different, start jumping around, moving your body. But what's not okay is to continue that same cycle of being like, I'm anxious, I'm depressed, I'm all this, blah, 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 because as long as you say that, you're going to continue to be that. You got to do something different. You got to break the cycle. You got to wake up that it's not anxiety, it is an alarm. You got to wake up that you're in control of it, and you don't need to go to your mind, yet you can get into your body, and you can transform your body. You can transform your thoughts. You can transform these feelings and help calm it down by teaching that it's safe. Because when does anxiety hit? In the most inopportune times. I could be sitting there in a conversation, like straight up, like David Beckham can be looking at me, and I'm like, oh my God, yes, like, hello, my God. And then all of a sudden, like, an anxiety attack will happen. Or like, you could be at Disney and you're like, oh my God, the happiest kid on earth, and all of a sudden this anxiety attack, you're like, where's it? That's because you can't control it in the moment, like, or where it's happening and all that stuff. It can happen at any time. But what you can control is you can control the narrative, realize it's an alarm, and now you have a tool to be able to sit with it and try to help change the narrative a little bit, break that cycle, and see if we can't kind of come out of those patterns and those habits. That's something that I learned that really was one of the biggest tools for me to help with anxiety symptoms when they would come up. Renaming it and then learning a tool to get into my body, game changer. I wanted to share that with you. So the next time that little alarm goes off, now you got a thing to be like, it's okay, we got it. All right, we can put anxious Annie in her place, baby girl, okay? Or baby boy, whoever's watching. So just wanted to share that with you. Hope that helps. Let me know if you try that. Comment it. If you feel that this helps you, please share this video with a friend. It's YouTube, it's free, okay? The other thing I need you to do is subscribe. Oh, wait. It's right down there. Oh, thank you. You pushed my button. Thank you so much for that. This is what I love. I'm pouring into you guys. Please pour into me. Comment, like, love, subscribe, share it with people. That's how we grow. That's how we become better people. That's how we thrive. Thanks for tuning in. You're worthy. You are enough. You're not broken. You are already a masterpiece. So, love you.